Welcome back. A major shakeup for the Milwaukee Bucks. The team's owners announcing Peter Feigin is stepping down as president of the Bucks and Fiserv Forum after 12 seasons. And his replacement immediate. Wisconsin native Josh Glessing coming up from the Haslam Sports Group. Jimmy and Dee Haslam now with a 25% share of the Bucks. Both Peter and Josh are here. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Good to see you.
Peter, let me start with you. We don't have to list all of the accomplishments in the past 12 years, but when you look at from the stadium to Deer District to the conventions, the national championship, what do you hope your legacy is here in Milwaukee?
Well, I think there's a transformational part of kind of taking a team and kind of getting, to really not treating this like a small market and just like really, this is the gold standard of the way you run a professional team. I think personally and professionally to be engaged in the growth, the championship, the Deer District. We had this opportunity to build a city within a city, that never happens before. And I think we were able to affect change in a lot of different ways, and whether that's on the entertainment side, the engagement of the community side, and really to have fun and change, the perception of NBA basketball in the city to such a great level.
I'm sure your phone has been ringing off the hook this past week. I mean, the statements, whether it be from the governor, former governor, business leaders, community leaders, political leaders, all praising you. I'm curious when people are saying, what happened? Were you forced out? Why did you leave? What are you telling them?
I think 12 years of just an incredible run. I think my wife and I are at a place where I professionally and personally kind of am excited about looking for and jumping into a new adventure. It's a great time. The team and this business is just on such a solid foundation. This ownership has been so good to me. And it's kind of one of these things that doesn't happen too often where you could really sit down, discuss, and plan out a transition for a company, a team, and a brand I love so much.
Josh, you're coming home to Wisconsin, a Wisconsin native. What do you see as some of your first priorities for the team?
So one of the things I'll say, Peter had a much easier task 12 years ago because they needed a lot of work. So on day one, we have to turn a lot of aspects of this business around. We have to build a new arena, a new training facility, create a brand. I'm coming to the organization on a really solid footing. It is a stable organization that's had tremendous success, continue to make advancements on the Deer District and the development surrounding the arena. So it's really to just build on the legacy that Peter's built over the last 12 years, advance that forward. It's day one, it's not to come in and change things because the organization's in great place.
When you see all the praise that Peter has received in this past week, do you feel some pressure on you coming into this organization?
No, I mean, listen, I'm part of the praise, right?
Yeah.
I'm part of the praise. Peter is a one of one. My job is to not step into Peter's shoes and replace Peter. My job is to continue the work that he has done over the last 12 years. And fortunately, when these things are done right, and we hope this is an example of that, you have these great transitions. And so, is there pressure? I think I'll always put pressure on myself. Is there pressure from Peter and the ownership group? The only pressure is to ensure that the organization has what it needs to continue to compete in the way that we have competed. So sure, there's pressure, but I think it's, pressure, as they say, is a privilege, and the pressure is not to change things or fix things. The pressure is to continue to build on what has been accomplished over the course of the past 12 years under Peter's leadership and guidance, and quite frankly, the past 50 years of the Milwaukee Bucks brand.
You mentioned, Peter, somewhat this small market mentality among some when they look to Milwaukee. Giannis had some great comments about you when reflecting on your time. I'm curious, how did you internally navigate all of these trade rumors and sometimes this push, it seemed like, to get Giannis out of Milwaukee?
Well, I think first you yell at Giannis and say, just make this clear. What are you doing? This is the guy loves the city. He's never backstepped from that, in the world, and kind of this fishing game. And, I was always hoping there'd be some time limit to, could you stop? It's been a year, to suspect that. But, for us, it's always the same focus of literally, we want to win. Our owners have always been clear about that. We want to be about the fan, which is very simple because that's what the sport is about. And we want to grow, and I think we have not been quiet about the puzzle is building around Giannis. Always, always, always. So that doesn't change.
Josh, how important is Giannis? How important is team and character to when you look at this team, not just this season, but long term down the road?
I mean, Giannis is obviously, the, if not a key aspect to all of the success in recent years, of course, the championship. So you have to find ways to continue to build around him and create a team that is able to compete year in and year out, but also has the ability to sustain. I mean, you see some teams that do it really well and go through transitions, and at the end of the day, everyone always retires at the very least. So how can you ensure that you keep your window open as long as possible, constantly compete? And he's a key part of that.
Peter, what's next for you?
Don't know, but extremely excited. I think this experience has kind of enlightened me to kind of tons of different possibilities. I like to build, I like to grow, I like to build teams. I think it's time to like really take some time, really think about and find something like incredible.
Politics?
No.
That was direct and quick.
Well,
I'm sure you've heard the calls.
This will lead in. This will lead in.
Peter and I have had a number of meetings this week with a number of people,
yeah.
and several of them asked that question. And the answer is
to right away that I could be a good middle of the line person to get things done and change things. And I've had my exposure to politics, and I love the state of Wisconsin like so much. But I think people should do background on me and understand I'd be counterintuitive to the political environment.
I have heard there is a governor's race at the end of the year, but you are declaring no right here.
At this moment, I am declaring no at the fastest no you could have gotten. Yes.
Peter Feigin, Josh Glessing, gentlemen, both of you, thank you. Best of luck to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Up next, our on the ground reporting in Minneapolis.
Why are you out here today?
We will not surrender.